You are now tuned into the Boxing Bros. It's a somber morning. You know what happened, and we saw what happened. I was gonna call out, but I thought of all the times that G had to watch Wilder get beat up and come in here, and he stood his ground. So I'm here, Dollar Bills here. We're gonna stand our ground. All the other AJ supporters out there, we got we got it for you. And with the help of Yellow Claws, a longtime Boxing Bros supporter, and along with G, we came up with a dish for this. What we witnessed yesterday, we witnessed uh, Joshua Jambalaya Jollof, also known as JJJ, Joshua Jambalaya Jollof. So man, listen, this is boxing. This is boxing. What is wrong with y'all? You think people are gonna be crying over an L, getting a prediction wrong? 83% of the people who predicted this fight thought AJ would win. And you're gonna see even people who have the most information to make the best prediction predicted Anthony Joshua to win. Anyways, this is G Day. This is G Block. It's G Sunday. And yes, in honor of G, we're calling what we witnessed yesterday Joshua Jambalaya Jollof. I'm turning it over to my co-host.
You already know. I know G's right now. He is smiling. He is smiling right there. LLG for life. You already know what it is on the Commissioner Trail dollar bill. It's the Boxing Bros. Time to get activated.
It's time to get activated. That's right. Hey, and listen, G also would say, but he likes Anthony Joshua. He really does. All right. So you already know the first topic we're going to discuss is Daniel Dubois that good or was Anthony Joshua that bad? All right. So we're going to take a look at some of what people had to say after the fight.
Anthony must win. Должен был выиграть.
Anthony should have won.
Yeah, should have won. It's boxing. I don't know.
Were you surprised it was such a firefight? Did you expect it to be like that?
For me, yeah. Yeah, I think it's, for me, it's a surprise.
Cool.
Вы ожидали, что такой горячий бой будет, что так закончится?
Я думал, что Энтони выиграет.
He was expecting that Anthony is going to win the fight.
Yeah. So next up then, how is training going for you and your rematch with Tyson Fury?
Yeah, I go...
So just one quick thing for those of you who didn't catch that. He was saying he's surprised. He thought Anthony Joshua would win the fight. So Usyk, a man who shared the ring with Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua, picked Anthony Joshua and is surprised Anthony Joshua lost because he thought Anthony Joshua would win.
He said it's boxing. He said, it's boxing. Usyk, I ain't going to let Usyk slide. He got the George Michael starter kit. I ain't letting Usyk. He my man. He know he my man, but I ain't letting him slide. Everybody can get it.
We'll finish to hear Usyk's comments on Tyson Fury because he gave a little update on that as well. So
I now in my training camp. Tomorrow I'm back my training camp. I continue prepare.
So basically, he's saying he's in training camp for Tyson Fury. So he's going to go back to his training camp. So now we're going to listen to what the head trainer for Daniel Dubois had to say, a.k.a. his dad. This is what Daniel Dubois' dad had to say. I know some of y'all are going to say it's Don Charles or whatever his name is. No, the Don Charles had to stay home until the fight because Daniel Dubois' head trainer, his dad, he had this to say.
Was going to knock him out in the 6th round. He did it in the 5th. Everyone was saying he was going to get knocked out, and now they all got quiet and left the venue in 10 seconds.
So basically, Daniel Dubois' dad said Daniel Dubois said he was going to knock AJ out in the 6th round. It happened in the 5th. And everyone was going against Daniel Dubois, and then they left the arena in 10 seconds after the AJ loss. I guess what he was saying is they got knocked out with AJ. So, and the last thing we're going to listen to is what Daniel Dubois had to say about his performance, and then we're going to answer the question. So this is what Daniel Dubois had to say about his victory over Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, they all were saying I was going to get knocked out, and we all saw we got knocked out. And I done the business, and I'm just, I was glad I proved everyone wrong. But this is the start of my journey. This is the start for me. Yeah, they all said.
So he said they all said he was going to get knocked out, and they all were wrong, including myself. So Trill Dollar Bill, is Daniel Dubois that good, or was it bad AJ? I know it's a combination of both, but what do you think was most responsible for Daniel Dubois getting the victory?
First off, I have to say, just like AJ, I underestimated this kid. I underestimated the kid. Funny story. Right, so I was doing my spill on the whole AJ, the Daniel Dubois thing, right? And this is, and we always say here in boxing, right? In Boxing Bros, right? Our motto is, come humble or what?
Leave humbled.
and look, that was for me. That's this thing right here. This is to teach me a lesson. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking G did this to me on purpose. You know this is what happened, man. I'm sitting there. I was talking trash. I was talking big trash, bro. And my daughter, she said, "Daddy," she said, "Then you always say it only takes one punch in boxing, right?" I said, "Shut up."
Cooking.
Like, honor your father. You know what I'm saying? His boxing pick. You know what I'm saying? And now I gotta go buy some Jordans. You know what I'm saying?
She bet on Triple D?
Nah. Just because I was wrong. No.
I was about to say, you could have made a lot of money betting on Triple D.
She would have got 5 pairs of Jordans.
That's what I'm saying.
How them odds was? Oh man, But yeah, man, I learned a valuable lesson. You know what I mean? And it couldn't have happened to a better kid. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Dubois, sweetheart, man. A great kid, man. It couldn't happen to a better kid. So I'm not mad. Actually, the whole time I was actually laughing. My face still hurts from smiling because I didn't, I know I picked Anthony Joshua to win, but like sometimes when things happen, it'd be like so shocking. You'd be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad. I'm actually could happen to a better kid, man. Is Daniel Dubois that good, or was AJ that bad? I started this off by saying just like AJ, I underestimated this kid, and I think that was a little bit of the both of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Daniel Dubois is good. We give him slack for the times he quit, and his suits he be wearing. You know what I mean?
Why is he wearing those suits? Like, who's styling this man? Sean Porter? Like, I don't understand what the hell is going on with this.
His mother puts on his outfits before he leaves the crib. I don't know what's going on.
Nah, it's not even the suits that are bad. Yo, bro, did you see the picture of him wearing like Under Armour pants, like tight pants with this brown leather jacket on? Like, I was like, yo, what the hell? Like, AJ lost her. Look at this guy. Like, yo, who is dressing this guy? Oh, anyway, yeah.
Poor Daniel Dubois, but good Daniel Dubois, because look, this is what happens in the sport of boxing. When you take a person lightly or you underestimate somebody, can come back and bite you. There was other upsets, you know what I'm saying, with the night before, there was a kid who got sparked out, and then there was another upset that happened on the undercard of, you know what I'm saying, this one. The first fight of the night, was an upset. So yeah, man, that's what happens, man, in the sport of boxing, man, and you gotta love it. You gotta love it. I'm gonna stick with the. I see our other subjects, so I'm gonna stick to the
Yeah,
bouncy
stick
ball.
with us, man. We got a good one
We
this
gotta
week.
go
You
on.
know, there's a lot of good, fun topics. Again, just a trigger warning. We like to have fun, man. We don't like to deliver it bland. So please, if you take an issue with something we said, you can put it in the comment section. We get back to you if we can. But overall, we just trying to have fun with the sport we love. All right. Yeah, look. Honestly, as I said, it could be a combination of both. It is honestly a combination of both. But to me, what was most responsible for the outcome was a bad Anthony Joshua. And so I'm going to tell you just what I noticed from round one, from the opening bell. The first thing I saw, Anthony Joshua's chin was in the air. And I'm thinking, like, why is this dude's chin wide up? Like, he just had his head straight up. It just looked bad from the start. I'm thinking, okay. And so that was a problem. Then I noticed his hands were low. Like he was jabbing and bringing his hands back to his chest. And I'm thinking, you're in there with a puncher. Your hands should be up. And this is what I talk about with Floyd Mayweather. And this is what I tell everyone. Because if you watch Floyd Mayweather, who's one of the greatest defensive fighters of all time, right? Every time he got buzzed or hurt, he went to the high guard. This is what people don't understand. Even with all the reflexes, all the shoulder roll, all the ability, when Floyd got hurt, he went to the high guard. Go look at Shane Mosley, the second round. Go watch the fight and see what he did. He went to the high guard. He didn't only rely on holding. That's the other thing people make a mistake. They think, oh, you get hurt, just hold. No, he went to the high guard. He did hold. But he looked to counter in between shots the same way Dubois did Anthony Joshua. We're going to talk about that in a second. But it's also like knowledge. So what I noticed was his hands was low. Even when he got hurt, his hands remained low. He threw the jab from the chest, brought it back to the chest, which to me was a bad thing. The other thing that was telling from the opening bell was Anthony Joshua started on the back foot. And to me, I was thinking, this is not the same AJ I saw against Otto Wallin. This is not the same Anthony Joshua that I saw against Francis Ngannou. In both of those fights, what made me feel like Anthony Joshua had turned over a new leaf was he was going forward and he was looking to land his vicious punches on his opponent before they can land on him and also assert dominance, early on in the ring. And for me, him moving backwards, he never placed any fear in Daniel Dubois, and he never placed that doubt in Daniel Dubois. The right hand he landed in the fifth, he needed to land that in the first. He needed to land that right hand in the first round to make Daniel Dubois think, do I belong here? He needed to bring up the demons. The PTSD that Simon Jordan was talking about for Anthony Joshua. He needed to remind Daniel Dubois of the dark times and see if Daniel Dubois can walk through. So that was another thing I noticed. He was on the back foot from opening bell, and I thought, like, oh my God, this is disastrous, especially against a puncher like Daniel Dubois, because you're giving him confidence, because automatically you're giving him the respect of being the dominant guy in the ring. So there was that. The other thing, his attack was extremely predictable. AJ didn't change speeds. He rarely changed levels. He just threw a jab. He tried to land a right hand, and occasionally he threw a right hand uppercut. That's basically all he threw. It was like, I don't know if those were the three punches that he focused on in camp, but he just threw the same punches, hands low, same speed, velocity, everything. And so it was very predictable. And that's how he got knocked out. If you watch the sequence in the fifth, after he hurts Daniel Dubois with a right hand, he gets Daniel Dubois in the corner. He throws three right hands in a row, two straight, and then one was going to be an uppercut. But he throws the two straight right hands in a row at the same speed, same velocity. Daniel Dubois picks up the timing of when he's throwing and how fast they're coming and the speed and the power. And then by the time he tries to throw an uppercut, the third right hand, because I guess he thought I'm going to make him block up top, then I'm going to try to go under. When he tries to throw the uppercut, that's when Daniel Dubois throws his counter, lands, and drops Anthony Joshua. So his attack was very predictable. It was predictable all night. He was trying to counter off the back foot, and he just wasn't successful doing that. And if you look at the fights where people had success against Daniel Dubois, they took it to him early. Even Lorena took it to Daniel Dubois early. Joe Joyce took it to Daniel Dubois early. Hergovich took it to Daniel Dubois early. Usyk The puffed up middleweight took it to Daniel Dubois early. Anthony Josh was on the back foot. So the other mistake that I noticed from Anthony Joshua was he didn't learn from Andy Ruiz's fight. He hurt Daniel Dubois. He finally got respect from Daniel Dubois, and he just went in like a madman trying to knock him out. And to me, that was a mistake because one, and this is what I noticed. It looked like Daniel Dubois shot his load. Pause. Like he was fading. He was fading in that fight. And I can sense that Anthony Joshua could tell he was fading. That's why right before he got knocked out, you saw him look in the crowd and stick his tongue out. Because in the tussling, you can sense that someone they're not pushing as hard. They're not as strong, right? Pause. And then like in the exchanges, you could see they don't have the velocity. Their speed is that you could tell the punches don't have the same sting. So I think Anthony Joshua was sensing that Daniel Dubois was fading. So I think that's what gave him confidence to go in for the attack. But you have to know, although someone may not have the energy to throw combinations or whatever, they still got that one shot they can throw out of desperation, like Andy Ruiz. And that's what happened to Anthony Joshua. So to me personally, if he waits while Daniel Dubois is in that corner, if he just plays it smart, he stays calculated, gets out of that round, he already planted that seed in Dubois. So now Dubois finally respects him. So now he can go out and try to land another right hand and hopefully hurt him worse and then get into a better situation. But he got greedy like he did against Andy Ruiz and he got knocked out. So to sum it all up, I just feel like AJ didn't look like the guy who had the experience and the IQ. There was even one point when Dubois was throwing combinations and AJ just put his hands out like this. And I'm like, bro, just put your hands up and move. Like, you got to know this. Two-time heavyweight champion of the world. Why you going like this? When
he got all that when Daniel Dubois hit him. Daniel Dubois hit him so hard, he got all that. All that went out the window.
Yeah, bro. You know what? It must be the equilibrium got thrown off. Because even when he got caught with that right hand, why was his hands down so low? He's stepping back. It was like wide open for Daniel Dubois. It was basically he had his chin in the air.
It was, what that performance kind of reminded me of? It reminded me of Devin. Devin and Ryan. Devin, that's reminded me.
Stay tuned. We got some.
You underestimated him. You know what I'm saying?
I never seen a chin out there so free since Vic Darchinyan. I just never seen a fighter give up the chin so freely since Vic Darchinyan. AJ just had the chin out there. It was just like, tag me. And so, I don't know. It looked like AJ was under a lot of pressure. We'll get into that a little bit later. But, of course, AJ's going into that ring with a lot of expectations. A lot of deals on the line, and it looked like he didn't pull the trigger. And by the time he decided to pull the trigger, he had already been dropped several times, and it was an uphill battle for him. And I just wish that he started the first round the way he started the fifth round, because in the end, and this is for all the young fighters out there watching, if you're going to get knocked out, because he got knocked out anyway, why not get knocked out going for your pound of flesh? See, you already know Daniel Dubois is a hard puncher. So why not get knocked out going forward and trying to land your best shots, right? And if his plan was to tire Daniel Dubois out, although he got dropped several times, he was successful in doing that. It looked like AJ was beginning to turn the tide because Daniel Dubois was tiring and he didn't do anything. So it just looked like he forgot everything. And like Trill said, perhaps maybe he was just fighting on instinct, determination, and will, because his mind was foggy. But I will close by saying this. I would like to confirm that the Boxing Bros insider for this fight was Tony Bellew. So we were so off. Yeah, we're gonna blame Tony Bellew. We relied on the information that was provided by Tony Bellew, and it fell.
That's what I got for watching Creed. That's a good.
That was a good acting job to me. I don't care what none of y'all say.
Oh no! Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter, and please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. I'm the Commissioner Trill Dollar Bills. My brother Caden, you know what it is. LLG for life, and we the Boxing Bros.
You got one, G.